Good morning. Welcome to the 90s podcast hosted by yours truly, Kevin Thompson, founder and CEO of 98 Capital Group. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, say subscribe to the channel. As always, say go and get my book, Get My B to CFP live on Apple and Amazon. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@99capitalgroup.com. Send us your questions. Go to the website at www.99capitalgroup.com. Schedule an appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, power, engage, and also entertain. Today, we're talking about the top 5 financial scams I'm seeing out there right now. We're going to break them down. Make sure that you're not a victim. This is an episode you cannot miss. Let's get it. Thank you guys for joining the show today on the 980s podcast. Today, where we typically talk about money markets and all the things outside of it, but today we're going a little bit outside the textbooks. This is an episode I really wish I didn't have to talk about, but it's out there. We're talking about the top 5 financial scams happening right now. The truth is, scams are like viruses. They evolve, they get smarter, and they prey on fear and greed. Some of these are new high-tech scams. Some of these are just old school, wrapped in a different twist. And all of them are draining billions from people just like you and me. So let's walk through them, what they are, how they work, and how you can avoid being a victim. This one scam is not necessarily known, but it's called pig butchering, and it's around romance and crypto schemes. Now, Zeke Fox talked about this in his book, Number Go Up. This one has exploded in the last 2 years. It's called pig butchering. Charming, right? It's a very charming name. But the scammer slowly fattens you up before they take everything you got. Here's how it works. You get a DM on an Instagram, LinkedIn, or maybe a WhatsApp, possibly a text message, someone friendly, attractive, often claiming to be overseas working in finance. They build a rapport with you. Weeks or months go by. They talk markets, investments, and maybe they talk about shared hobbies. Eventually, they introduce you to an exclusive crypto or forex trading platform, one they're personally using. They can say, oh, my mother was using this. This is what we done last week. This is all the money that we make. You see these fake screenshots of big profits. You're encouraged to put a small amount of money in. And sure enough, the platform shows you huge returns. But here's the catch. Typically what happens is they send you a text message or an email and you click on that link and you put money into this platform. They show you all these different things, how it all works and everything like that. But that platform is actually a shell of a scheme. So when you try to withdraw that money, that's when the excuses start and your money is gone. Here's some of the red flags you need to look out for. Anyone promising both high returns, consistent returns, pushing you to put money into platforms that you've never heard of, that's strike one. Whenever you get that innocuous text of, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was such and such. And the next thing you know, they start sending you pictures and talking to you about hobbies and everything like that. If you get that innocuous text from a person that you don't necessarily know, boom, that's strike 2. And strike 3 is when they start talking to you about moving money. Don't ever do that. That is a huge red flag. Here's a tip. If you never met this person, typically I would like to say, hey, if they want to chat with you, possibly do a screen share or possibly do a face-to-face, that will help alleviate some of the pressure. But if you haven't met this person, if you haven't had a physical interaction with this person, don't send them money. And if they're asking for money to invest, just don't do it. One of the more high net worth and this is one that really takes the cake, is the investment fraud masquerading as private placements or pre-IPOs. This is a high net worth hustle. You get pitched an exclusive opportunity to invest in a company right before it goes public. Could be SpaceX, OpenAI, or some new biotech startup, right? Here's the play. The scammer claims to have insider access. You get a flashy pitch deck, maybe even a fake SEC filing. They'll often name drop big investors, all fabricated. You wire money into a holding account. It never reaches any legitimate investment. The FBI says investment scams are the highest reported financial crime in 2024, over $4 billion last year. Here are some of the red flags. They rush you with limited window language, avoid answering detailed questions, and want you to fund money via a wire request or crypto. The reason why they do that is because you can't get that money back. Once a wire is gone, you can't get that money refunded. It's literally like you giving somebody a $20 bill on the street. If they start running, that money's gone. Here's some of the tips that you need to be aware of. Legitimate private placements are filed with the SEC. You can search it on Edgar, EDGAR, and verify before you invest. I would also say contact your financial advisor to see if this is a legitimate investment. Because if they put you into something like this and they are defrauded, you can go after the financial advisor, especially if they're a fiduciary. You have the ability to sue that individual and get restitution. Now, this one seems like it's out of a iRobot movie or some sci-fi movie, but this is happening consistently, time and time again. AI-powered voice cloning for emergency calls. This is the evolution of the grandparent scam. Scammers use AI to clone the voice of your loved one using a few seconds of online audio, maybe from TikTok, YouTube, or some kind of podcast. It's getting more ingenious because they can take the information or the voices from a TikTok or any type of online platform and regenerate that voice using AI software. It is criminal, but it's genius. How it goes: you get a frantic call from your child or grandchild saying they've been in an accident, arrested, or kidnapped. The voice sounds exactly like them. They need money wired immediately. The panic shuts down rational thought. You send the money, and then you realize you've been played. Here are some of the red flags you need to be aware of. Request for money urgently, especially via wire or crypto, with the demand for secrecy, is a red flag. Tip: hang up and call your loved one directly at their real number before taking any action. Likely they're going to say, no, I can't hang up, or I can't do this. This is my phone's about to die. They'll give you any excuse not to contact that individual, but contact that individual, contact the institution, and contact other institutions or companies directly before you take any additional action. This right here is another big one, the IRS tax debt settlement racket. We're getting these calls. You get an email or something saying you owe. You get a text saying you owe money. Every spring or summer, this one comes roaring back. The calls or letter claiming you owe the IRS money, and if you don't pay them, you're going to be arrested, or there's going to be liens on your property. Here's the other twist. They'll offer to settle your tax debt for a fraction of what you owe. If you pay a hefty upfront fee to take their fake tax relief company. Here is the issue. The IRS does not call. They will never call. They won't text or anything like that out of the blue. They send you letters, but they won't call you. Legitimate debt settlements called an office in compromise are filed directly with the IRS, not through some mystery company in another state. Here are some of the red flags to look out for. The threats of arrest, payment via debit or credit cards, or a company that won't give you their IRS enrollment number. If someone contacts you from the IRS, they must give you their agent ID and their name. What you can then do is, I would say, okay, thank you. And I would call the IRS back and confirm this person actually works there. It may take some time, but it's better to take time in the front end to have to fix everything on the back end. Here's a tip. If you get a scary call from the IRS, hang up and call the IRS directly. That's 100%. Hang up and call the IRS directly. The IRS doesn't call, they don't email, and they don't text. It's always via letter in the mail, and you can verify that letter by calling that number and or calling the IRS directly using the information online. Right now, we're in a tough economic time. Jobs are not being created enough to sustain what we're doing. It's just a tough job market. It really is. Right now, you have fake job and remote work postings online. And here's one that's been getting some people recently. The fake job and remote work check fraud. Wow. That sounds ingenious, right? This one targets people looking for extra income. You get an offer to be a remote worker, social media assistant, quality control tester, mystery shopper, something like that. The scammer sends you a signing bonus or equipment check. They instruct you to deposit it, keep part for yourself, and wire the rest via their vendor. The checks look real until your bank tells you your check bounced a week later. You're now on the hook for the full amount you wired out. Traditionally, banks hold those checks and don't give you access to the funds, but there's some banks that can verify the check very quickly and give you access to the funds. They may give you a portion of those funds, but you also have to understand, let's just say they give you $1,000 check, maybe $500 is available, and maybe the company only wants you to give them $250 back. Think about this is free money for that company. Whatever you give them back is just their money. Actually, it's your money. I apologize. It's your money. It's free money to them. So here's a red flag. Job offers you didn't apply for, high pay for little work, request to send money right after receiving a check, red flag. Here's a tip. No legitimate employer will send you money before you start work and ask for part of it back. Not one. That's a losing game. Understand that why would an employer give you money and you necessarily just walk away with it and they have no restitution? This wouldn't happen. So understand the fraud scheme. There's a lot of fraud out there right now. A lot of fraud right now. There's a lot of things going wrong. A lot of things that are people taking advantage of. We have a DOJ that's making it harder for us to put forth these efforts to make sure that we're taken care of. But again, it's not about who's in office or whatever like that. It's about protecting yourself. Scams work because they play on two human emotions, fear and greed. The fear of missing out on an opportunity or the fear of something bad happening right now. The best defense, slow down, verify. If it feels off, it probably is. I can't tell you how many times I've had former clients go through this, call me back and say, Kevin, I can't believe this just happened to me. I went here, I was asked to do this and I did it. I thought I was clearing something up, but it turned out it was a scam. This is typically happening to older individuals. A lot of the boomers in our society, they go after them. If you think you've been targeted, report it to the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov. The more data they have, the more they can shut these operations down. Thank you guys for listening to the 9 Innings podcast. Today we talked about the fraud schemes. Again, check fraud, work fraud, the IRS scams. All these scams are out there. You have to protect yourself. Here's my final tip. Whether it's a toll tag scam, USPS scam, or what have you, never click on the links. Never click on a text message or email link. Always go directly to the website to verify what is going on with your account. I'm going to say it again. Always go directly to the website to verify your account. That's one way to handle or to take care of any miscommunications that may be out there. Again, thank you guys for listening to the 9 Innings podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. You have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@99capitalgroup.com. Send us your questions. Go to the website at www.99capitalgroup.com. Schedule an appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, power, engage, and also entertain, and also to protect. Follow us on all social media channels at MLB to CFP or at 99cap. Thank you guys once again. Stay humble, stay safe. We'll see you again soon.